This is the Golden Book story called Glimmer of Hope. It was written by Teddy Slater, and the pictures were done by Fred Carrillo. Whenever you hear this sound, you'll know that it is time to turn the page. When you finish listening to the story, turn the tape over. You can record your own story on side 2. Are you ready to begin? Find the page where you see Princess Adora's bedroom. A full Etherian moon still glowed in the sky when Princess Adora, asleep in Crystal Castle, was awakened by the clippity-clop of hoofbeats. She dashed to her window and looked outside. There, just outside, was the Royal Guard of Bright Moon.
Why, it's Queen Angela,
Adora said to herself.
I wonder what she's doing here at this hour. I do hope nothing's wrong.
Adora ran downstairs and flung open the castle door.
Oh, Adora!
Queen Angela cried.
My daughter, Glimmer, has been kidnapped by Catra. She's being held prisoner on Beast Island, and I fear for her safety. Look at this ransom note I just received.
Surrender, bright moon, or Glimmer's light will shine no more.
I can't give up my land.
Angela wailed.
As a queen, I have a duty to my people. But I'm a mother, too. Surely, I can't give up my daughter. You must help me, Adora.
I don't know if I can,
Adora said sadly.
but I'm sure She-Ra would know what to do. Rest here while I try to find her.
As soon as the castle door closed behind her, Adora headed for the stable. With her horse, Spirit, by her side, she raised the sword of protection.
For the honor of Grayskull, I am She-Ra.
Instantly, Adora was transformed into She-Ra, Princess of Power, and Spirit became the winged unicorn, Swiftwing. As the new morning dawned, they flew off to Beast Island in search of Double Trouble, Angela's secret agent.
The situation is dark indeed.
Double Trouble told She-Ra.
Not only has Catra kidnapped Glimmer, but she's locked her in a pitch-black dungeon. Glimmer's staff has already run out of power, and there's not a ray of light in that cell to recharge it. Worse yet, the dungeon is surrounded by a fence with a powerful force field, so no one can get in to rescue her.
When She-Ra brought the bad news back to Angela, she found that the worried queen had already called a town meeting. All the citizens of Bright Moon were gathered near Crystal Castle, and they all wanted to help. The trouble was, no one knew quite what to do.
Broom and I will fly over the force field.
Madame Raz offered, but She-Ra explained that the force field reached into the sky and prevented anyone from landing. Then Cowl spoke up.
We can't go over. We're all agreed. Another way in is what we need. I've thought and can't help but wonder, why don't Bo and I just dig our way under?
But She-Ra told him that the electrical charge flowed down into the ground as well. One of the townspeople came up with the idea of going through the fence with a giant battering ram. But She-Ra pointed out that as soon as the force field was touched, a giant explosion would destroy their weapon. Everyone else kept suggesting bigger and better ways to get past the force. But as the first stars began twinkling in the sky, She-Ra had quite a different idea.
The glitter bugs can do it.
She cried suddenly.
Those little things?
Angela scoffed.
What good are they? Why, until the moon comes out, they have no power at all. And even then, it would take about 1,000,000 of them to give as much light as one candle.
But by the time She-Ra finished explaining her idea, Angela was willing to admit that maybe bigger wasn't always better. As the moon rose, She-Ra sent out a silent message to the glitter bugs. Within minutes, thousands of the tiny creatures had flown to her side. When they heard about Angela's problem, the glitter bugs responded with a message of their own.
We want to help.
As the moon rose higher and higher, the glitter bugs took on more and more of its light. Soon they were all aglow and ready to carry out She-Ra's plan. Off to Beast Island flew the little bits of living light. They had no trouble at all slipping through the tiny holes in the force fence, and the even tinier ones between the stones of Glimmer's dungeon. Before long, all the glitter bugs were inside Glimmer's cell. They flew once around the darkened room, then gathered in the center to form a great ball of light.
Glitterbugs, you've come to rescue me.
By morning, Glimmer had absorbed enough of the glitterbug's light to recharge her staff. Just before the crack of dawn, Catra's jailer came to bring her breakfast. Glimmer stunned him with a blast of light and fled from her cell. Thanks to the glitterbugs, Glimmer still had enough power to short-circuit the force field. Once again, she raised her staff. The fence exploded in a shower of sparks. Glimmer could hardly believe her eyes when the sparks finally settled and she saw who was waiting for her.
Oh, She-Ra!
She cried, giving her friend a big hug.
I knew you'd save me. How can I ever thank you? Don't thank me.
She-Ra replied.
Thank the glitterbugs. Without them, you'd still be in Catra's dungeon.
As Swift Wind took wing and carried She-Ra and Glimmer back to Bright Moon, the sun slowly rose in the morning sky. And just as slowly, the glitterbugs faded from view. That night, when the moon was at its brightest, Princess Adora invited everyone to a party at Crystal Castle. The guests of honor were thousands of happy glitterbugs. But no one could have been happier than Queen Angela and Glimmer, who took the opportunity to give their biggest thanks to their littlest friends.